That night, I saw the veil fall. I saw darkness crawl from the altar, like some smoke from a dying fire. The woman we called Mama Grace, the one we trusted with our soul, was not who she said she was. I was there when heaven turned her way, and that was how I learned that not every miracle comes from God. Welcome to Folktales by Helen, where every story hides a secret. Let's dive in. My name is Ngozi. I wasn't born rich, but I was born blind. I sold fruits by the roadside, but everything changed when I met Pastor Mirabel Adesuwa, the elegant woman everyone called the anointed flame. She was beauty, grace, kindness, rich, spirit-filled, and holiness wrapped all in a white lace. Her perfume smelled like heaven, her voice like thunder wrapped in silk. They called her anointed flame, and I believed. People said her prayers could raise the dead. I believed it because the first day she touched my eyes, I saw. Pastor Mirabel lived in a luxurious mansion. Marble floor, diamond chandeliers. She even had a swimming pool inside of the building. The house screams luxury. She preached about humility but wore designer shoes that cost more than my life savings. Yet her kindness felt real. She paid hospital bills, sent orphans to school, built houses for widows. Pastor Mirabel was everything a modern African woman dreamt to be. She's beautiful, powerful, charitable, kind, and nice. At church, the sanctuary of grace was like a palace. White marble floors, golden pillars, chandeliers shining brighter than the sun. People from every corner came to see her perform wonders. The rich sat beside the poor, all waiting for one touch, one prayer, and one word. She became the voice of the generation, a symbol of holy sources. To us, she was a saint. My mother used to say, even saints cast shadows. They go through struggles. But Pastor Mirabel sometimes, when she thought no one was watching, her smile would just fade off. Her eyes, those same eyes that made us believe in her words, would just stare into nothing, as if she was seeing something the rest of us couldn't see. She would stare into the atmosphere, as if expecting something to come out of it. She would just turn back to us and say, grace is not deserved, it is received. But no one knew that each miracle came with a price she dared not reveal. Every Sunday, after the church service, she will gather all the women in the church and share with them some gifts. One of the widows says, I bless the day I joined this ministry. Even after the death of my husband, who happens to be one of the ministers in this church, Pastor Mirabel never allowed her lack anything, both physically, spiritually, financially. She is the closest thing to an angel I'd ever met. Everything changed The day my lost sight that Pastor Mirabel miraculously healed, start seeing vision. I mean, mighty visions. One night, Deacon Samuel came over to my house. His face was pale. His hands shook. He said, "Sister Ngozi, pray for her. Pray for Pastor Mirabel because she is not herself anymore. And please, pray for yourself for divine protection." We talked and he left. On a fateful Sunday, which was our 10th year anniversary, during the service, as we prayed, Pastor Mirabel prayed for a child with seizures. All of a sudden, her voice changed. Deep, heavy, like a man was speaking through her. And something whispering, "You promised me one more." Pastor Mirabel slumped and we carried her to the back room. But she came and stood by the door. I lingered, and what I heard still haunts my nights. I could hear the voice saying, "You promised me one more soul, just one more, and you failed." Pastor Mirabel begging, "I can't. She can't die. I can't sacrifice her. She's like a daughter I can't have. I can't, please." She begged the creation. That was when it became more clearer, because Deacon Samuel had revealed some secrets to me that night. The miracles weren't all miracles. Some were bargains. He told me some things. In the background of the perfect life of Pastor Mirabel, there is always Deacon Samuel, a devoted assistant, loyal, quiet, trustworthy, prayerful, and always near. He had knew Pastor Mirabel before the fame, when she was just a struggling prophetess in a rented shop behind the market. He knew the truth she buried beneath that radiant smile, because he helped her bury it. The night her ministry began, she made a covenant with a dark spirit, the one that promised her fame, miracles, and power, in exchange for a soul every year. Every miracle she performed fed the darkness. Every soul that believed her gave strength to the spirit that owned her. But the world praised her holiness. She was the face of divine success, invited to presidential dinners, featured in magazines, and called Mama Grace by millions. The congregation panicked, and in that chaos, I echoed, "Woman, who anointed you?" Mirabel freezes. The church lights flicker. Everywhere became silent. Even one could hear the dropping of a needle. The respected veil fell, revealing not a woman of grace, but one tormented by the demons she once fed. As she stood, a tall shadow behind her, the eyes burning red, the snaky figure whispering words no one could hear. Her hands shook, her body trembled. Then she screamed, "He lied to me! He lied to me! I only wanted power to heal, power to prophesy. He promised to give me. But after then, he started collecting a life every year. Collected my brother's life, and every year he collects a life from the altar. Now he wants to collect Ngozi's life. Ngozi, run. Please run. That was all she said and fainted. Deacon Samuel hurriedly carried her through the back door. And that was it. The next morning, every news station had their faces on it. The magazines everywhere had her names fully pasted on it. The pastor of darkness. That's Pastor Mirabel's new name. Our church closed down. The mansion was seized. Our assets perished. And our followers, everyone disappeared. And that was the life of the mighty Pastor Mirabel. I thought she was gone forever, until 1 year later, I found her again. In a quiet village in Okpela, Delta State. She wore a plain wrapper, barefoot, teaching children under a tree. Her eyes were soft again. Shame is the only price I can still pay, she said. She built a small chapel from palm leaves and woods. No cameras, no microphone, no speaker, no luxury, just peace. Every morning, she sang one song. When the world forgets you, only grace remains. People still argue about her story. Some call her a fraud, others a fallen angel. But I saw both sides. I saw a woman that the world worshipped. I saw a woman that people believed in her miracles and wonders. Yet they forgot about God, just seeking the wonders and miracles that can be performed. And I saw the darkness she hid. I saw what lay behind the holy veil. And I saw what God's grace can do in the life of a human.